My marriage wiped out with a little piece of paper. Well, your dad better be ready to finish what he started, darling. He wants a fight, he's gonna get one. He wants a divorce, well, so do I. I want one more than him. I'm gonna take your darling daddy to the cleaners, babe, and then I'm gonna cut him up into tiny little pieces.
The name Angie Watts will be remembered by millions of viewers as the first landlady of the Queen Victoria pub. There's not a huge amount known about Angie's life before she met Den Watts and married him in 1968. They both went to school together and she always had her eye on him. She ended up with what she thought was the perfect life, with the man of her dreams, a beautiful daughter, and a successful business of her own. So why was it that Angie ended up being one of the most heartbreaking characters in the show's history?
Oh, come on.
Flower, Angie's dropped her flower. Get me flower. Only a roaster. Anyway, how else am I supposed to enjoy myself except by getting smashed out of my brain?
When we are first introduced to Angie, she is in a 17-year-old marriage with Den, and on the front of it, it seems to be the perfect life. This was just one of Angie's many skills in her arsenal, putting on a front to the customers that everything is fine, and she's the happiest woman in Wolford. But things couldn't be further from the truth. Behind closed doors, her marriage is running dry and their sex life is non-existent. She turns to drink whenever there is a sign of trouble, and her adopted daughter's Sharon relationship with her is just bought rather than nurtured. Over the short 3 years we spend with Angie, we see her at her lowest, trying to keep her marriage together with Den. She's found out that he's been seeing another woman called Jan, yet he bans her from even ever looking at another man. And when she sees the marriage is at breaking point, she resorts to desperate measures to keep him with her.
I've got me health. I thought I'd live forever. And you don't think about death, do you? You don't think about dying. You don't think about the pain. I've never thought about pain. I've never even had a toothache, Den. How am I going to stand it? How am I going to stand it? I've got 6 months to live.
She opens up a can of worms and lies that will change their relationship forever by telling him she's only got a few months left to live, in a desperate plea for him to stay with her. With their love life on the up, and Den suddenly being the most caring husband in the world, and Angie off the drink for good, she lets her guard down for just a moment while on holiday. Little did she know that her husband was listening to every single word right behind her back.
That's what my old mum used to say. Impulsive you are, girl's going to get you into trouble one of these days.
This then leads us on to maybe one of the biggest moments in EastEnders history, when Den delivers Angie some divorce papers on Christmas Day.
This, my sweet, is a letter from my solicitor telling you that your husband has filed a petition for divorce.
And from here, Angie thinks her world is shattered. But actually, it turns out Angie is stronger than ever without Den.
Well, thanks for sticking with it.
Oh, that's okay. Became quite entertaining in a macabre sort of a way.
Aye, aye.
Hello? Yes, that's right, Den. No, I don't think there'd be any point in us meeting. After all, most of this relationship's taken place over the phone, so it seems like the best way to end it. It's for you! Goodbye. I don't expect we'll be meeting again.
No. I hope not.
She goes on to work in a rival pub and takes all the customers with her, and she's drink-free yet again. Although, of course, this is just another front. Den works his way back into her life one last time, and him being her Achilles heel, she comes running back, only to find that nothing has really changed, and he will never be faithful to her.
5 minutes if they're on time.
Better get out there then, eh?
Yeah.
How do I look?
You look very nice.
Oh, I wondered if you'd pop in.
Yeah, I thought I'd drop by you.
Well, let me escort you to the private buffet then. Here we are. It's all right, darling, this one's with me. Looks great, didn't it? We got it done special and cheaper than Mags.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, Dan, do you have to?
The last we see of Angie is her running away from her problems yet again, rather than facing them to start a new life in Spain with another man.
I know we were going to try a second time around, but if we're honest with each other, it wouldn't have worked, would it?
No, of course not. Not in a million years. Angie's fallen in love. And who's she fallen in love with? Sonny. Not exactly God's gift to women, but who can blame her? I mean, who else would want her at her age and with her track record?
We get small updates through the years about how she's moving from one bar to the next and she's never quite settling down. It turns out she never did get over the love of her life. In 2002, we hear the sad news from Sharon that Angie has passed away after an illness of cirrhosis of the liver and early onset dementia brought on by years and years of heavy drinking.
You don't know about
No! There was nothing.
But I don't
It wasn't her heart that killed her. She was sick. Too weak to move at the end, just skin and bones.
What was it?
Mum died of cirrhosis of the liver. She drank away the money.
It's terribly sad to think of this lively, bubbly character having such a harrowing end to her life. You can't just help think that maybe if things were just slightly different, her outcome could have been so much happier.
You sure you don't want to go in the lounge, darling?
There's nothing like the kitchen for slagging off men.
Oh, you can say that again. This kitchen's seen more dirt flying than me cooking hot dinners.
Still the same old Angie.
Well, we don't change, do we, babe?
Oh, you don't. Me, I only got to look a chip and I put on a couple of pounds.
Have a sandwich. Well, it's different for me. I mean, in my position, I'm the landlady. It's expected.